Hey boys and girls, it's Miss FOSINA. I just am making this video to give you guys some more information on how to utilize your reader's notebook because I know this is new for all of us. So just by looking at most of your notebooks, I'm noticing that many of you are super comfortable with adding in your jots, which is awesome. Gonna just slide through here. I saw many of you are starting to fill this part out, which is great. About the offer, I mean, this is definitely something that, you can do more towards the end because you might be looking up, more books about the author just to get more information about the author. Setting, I haven't really put much in here yet because in Clean Getaway, I'm still I know that they're going back and forth in time, so I'm just not really sure how I want to do that yet. But I'll tell you where I have started to add some information, and that's in the character slide. Again, remember, if I want to zoom in, I simply hit this magnifying glass and I click on 100 so you guys can see a little bit better. So I want to show you two things on this slide. One, many of you probably have more than one important character in your book. So in your notebook, if you go to the slide where all the slides are here, slide 11, let's say I want to add another slide, another character slide. Boys and girls, if you right click or double tap, you see right here where it says duplicate slide. I could simply hit that, and what it's going to do is just going to make another character slide. Now, obviously, I already had this one filled out with Scoop, but if it was blank and you have two characters, I could just go through and take this information out. And it's as simple as, if I want to get rid of it, I click on it and I just hit delete the slide. Okay, so notice that, again, I deleted that slide, but if I want to do that again, I'm going to show you one more time. I'm going to click on that character slide, I right click, and I can hit duplicate, and it's going to make another slide for me. Okay, so but now let's talk about the contents of the slide. This is slide 11. This is a character slide. We've done this before. We've done character webs. Who's our character? This is Scoop. I was able to find a cool picture of him. You might not be able to find a picture of your character. So you might just maybe draw one, or maybe look up a picture of someone you think your character might look like. Whatever, be creative. Now, how does your character feel? Right now, I'm thinking that Scoob is kind of confused, a little bit overwhelmed. That might change based on when I continue in the book. How does your character act right now? Scoob acts happy most of the time because he doesn't want people to know he has all these doubts about his life. Okay, then we go down here. There's more information here. How does my character treat others? And this is where I would jot more information. So like Gma, I might jot that Scoob, doesn't tell Gma how disappointed he is about her selling the house. Why do you think he does that? He doesn't want to hurt her feelings. What lesson did he learn? Not sure about the lesson yet, but this tells me that my character is definitely more concerned about, other people's feelings and making other people kind of happy. He doesn't want to upset anybody, leading to a lot of the confusion in his life. So that might be something I jot. Okay. Another thing that I want to point out is this slide here. This is the historical fiction slide, that readers pay attention to details about the setting in historical fiction so that they can think about what life was like during that time. In Route 3, they mention the Green Book, the Guide to Freedom, right? And then you guys did that Ed puzzle that Miss FURLAN had assigned for you. That is something in the setting that tells me and helps me understand about what that time period was like. So my detail was that Gma and Gpop traveled with the Green Book, Guide to Freedom. The Green Book was a book that allowed African Americans to travel safely across the country during the civil rights, Jim Crow, separate but equal movement. The Green Book helped them find hotels, restaurants, and gas stations that welcome African Americans during that time. Now, I got that information from watching the Ed Puzzle video. I also posted the video just in case some of you weren't able to watch it. But that is the historical significance of something that I learned in this book. What does this teach me about this time period? This teaches me that it was not safe for an interracial couple to travel during this time period. People discriminated against them and, worse, threatened to harm them. Okay, so from the book and that document that was mentioned, this is what I learned about that time period. Boys and girls, you need to pay attention to details like this. The same way, we found a little video to help us understand what that document was. If you're reading a book and they happen to mention, let's say, the Bill of Rights, you might want to investigate, find a little video to help you further understand what that meant for that time period. Okay, so you need to be paying attention to details in the book that are going to allow you to better understand what time was like in your book. Okay, another thing I would like to show you is the vocabulary slide, slide 14. Miss Furlan and I have only entered 2 words so far. It's been a pretty easy book to read. The first word Miss Furlan entered was redemption. She writes down the definition of that book. Redemption is the act of gaining possession of something. And then she writes the sentence. It's my chance of redemption, Jima said. Jima wants to gain the ability to take the journey she could not complete with G-pop. The word that I entered was entity. An entity is something or someone with distinct and independent existence. But from the beans G-Ma spilled all over the top of Alabama, Scoob now knows that James Lamar Sr. was quite the entity. Okay, I'm going to show you that if you enter a word and you're not sure of the definition, very simply, guys, you can highlight the word, right-click, and see right here it's going to say define redemption. And here I click on it. On the side, a definition is going to come up. Okay, it might not be perfect, but it will help you. Here you go. The action of, you might want to copy and paste that right into the document and then write down the sentence. So I'm going to show you that one more time. So if you're putting a word in this box and you can't figure out the meaning from the context clues, I'll show you again. You're going to highlight the word. You're going to right click or double tap. Hold on, guys. I unhighlighted accidentally. Right click or double tap, and then you're just going to hear it says define redemption. You would click on that and the definitions come up along the side, all right, to help you out. And then you would just add the sentence. Let's just say this is one of the slides that you want to duplicate. You want another page of vocabulary. Remember how to do it? Click on the slide in the middle, duplicate slide. That's going to make a whole nother slide just of that page. Okay. Chapter summaries, slide 15. This is a great place for you all to do some quick summaries of your own book. Do you have to do it for every chapter? No, maybe for the really important ones. Maybe your book has lots of chapters, but maybe chapter 7 was really, really important and you might want to just jot a summary. Okay? So today I've explained a couple of different things. Let me go back to the top. I think you guys are doing awesome with your jots. Okay? You should start to explore your character, write down some information. This could slide. You might decide that you're going to say, oh, this is Scoob. And I'm going to say at the beginning, because you know how characters change? You know how characters change? So I might say this is Scoob at the beginning. And maybe later in the book, I will make another slide of Scoob and maybe Scoob at the end. I'll show you again if you want to duplicate the slide. I think it's most likely that I will probably make a character slide for Jima. So again, I would right click, I would hit duplicate this slide. Okay. I would just erase this information because it just copied what's there. And then I would go in and I would enter some information about Jima. Okay. I know this is a lot of information, guys, but you guys are learning so much about technology each day. And this is going to make you so much better in 6th grade, make you so much more independent to do more. Okay, so remember characters, you can add and delete slides, paying attention to historical details that teach you something, vocabulary words, and chapter summaries. Okay, those are some of the slides that you can be paying attention to this week and adding at your leisure. All right, I hope this video helps, and we'll see you later.